The splint is gone and Bogey is back. The Utah Jazz beat the Oklahoma City Thunders 116-103 as Bojan Bogdanovic's historic shooting night carries the Jazz to the win. We're talking about it on Postcast. David Locke along with Ron Boone as the Utah Jazz got 11 three-pointers from Bojan Bogdanovic on their way to a 116-103 win over the Thunder. Bogdanovic setting the Utah Jazz franchise record for most threes in a game. Only 5 players, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Donyell Marshall, Zach LaVine, and Kobe Bryant, have ever made more than 11 threes in an NBA game. 35 for Bogey, and he had that split on. Never missed a game during that stretch, which is incredible. January 18th was the day. They said 6 weeks. They kind of got to it. We kind of got a tip off that when we were in Phoenix on this road trip today, we're going to begin to change what he's wearing. He might be wearing some tape. I can't tell if he's wearing anything, actually. You can't see it. It's not black anymore. And the other night, he looked miserable. He's 1 of 11. He missed a bunch of layups, but Trent Forrest told us that he'd been saying at shoot-around, I feel better and better and better. And tonight we saw him almost, I would almost say this is like his revenge of the splint game. Like, he's hated that. It's almost like Phantom of the Opera. He's hated that mask. Well, okay, we all understand that now. For so long, and he absolutely just kind of busted out.
It does average out, doesn't it? Especially when you shoot the ball like he did here tonight. But you have to be impressed with the catch and shoot threes he had tonight. There's a couple of plays that they run for Bojan where he catches going from left to right. He catches square the shoulders and let go of a three. I don't think he had maybe one of those tonight. The rest of them was catch and shoot threes, especially in that first quarter. Going to that second quarter, a lot of them was in transition there as well.
If you hear that in the background, that's Bogdanovic walking across the floor because, that's the Thunder mascot hitting the big drum in the middle. So in that time, Ron, Bogey shot 31% from three. He shot 34% on catch and shoots, and he shot 26% from off the bounce, just 4 of 19 on his last above the break threes. There's no question that splint was bothering him. What does it mean to the Jazz if Bogey comes back to being a 40% three-point shooter? I mean, Ron, even if you just look at his numbers, his corner three this year, which we think about all the time, it's just 39%. It was 44 last year. It was 47 the year before that. It was 50 the year before that. And so if we get Bogey back, the already number 1 offense in the NBA, what does that do for them?
It does wonders, especially for him, his confidence. And I know that right corner three, I mentioned to you that he's taking more right corner threes than anything. And his percentage is down in that right corner three. So you're absolutely right about those percentages. But I would love to see him just follow up tomorrow night with the effort that he put in tonight, knocking down some threes. But the confidence level is definitely going to rise now because he thinks that everything he throws up is going to go in.
I did not do a very good job as an announcer tonight following the other games in the league, and a stunner has taken place. The Houston Rockets have gone to Memphis and won tonight, 123-113. So the Memphis Grizzlies, who are number 2 in the league, are now, with this loss, just 3 games up on the Utah Jazz in the standings.
Well, that would only be 1 in the loss column.
And only 1 in the loss column, so we'll keep an eye on that as the Jazz try to see if they can get to 2 or 3. The Jazz win tonight does get them a game and a half ahead of the Dallas Mavericks, who we play next. So in the playoff picture, the Jazz still trying to fight that. Otherwise tonight, Ron, the Jazz just started well. You could see that, hey, there was a reaction to how kind of lifeless they were in New Orleans in the way they approached this game
just
today.
Think about the life that the Pelicans had early in the ball game. This is Friday night.
Yeah.
So it was the same thing for the Jazz here tonight. I mean, they came out and it just caught fire. 33 points in that first quarter, and Bojan ended up with 4 3-point shots in that first quarter. He got things going very, very early in the game. So it was the same type of effort, I think, and the confidence level was definitely there from everybody. Jazz ended up scoring 33 points in that first quarter.
The Jazz get it rolling tonight. They shoot the 3 brilliantly all night, 23 of 53. Really, Bogey shot it brilliant because if you think about it, the rest of the team was 12 of 34, which is good. But it's, 36, 37%, and then Bogey was crazy. 11 of 18 from 3. Donovan had 10 assists tonight, playing the point guard all night. I kind of went with the storyline early that we were going to talk about how Donovan had to play the point guard in a different way than he does in the 12 minutes he plays it regularly. And Quinn Snyder just completely refuted that, in my coach's show before the game. So it kind of killed that idea. But what did you see out of Donovan, the point guard, tonight?
Well, he gets better and better. And I think sometimes you kind of revert back to your two guard skills, but you're actually running the point. I can see why Quinn wanted to go a different direction the way you were going, but because he ended up with 10 assists tonight, and he's better at being a point guard. Let's put it that way.
10 assists, and let's talk about that for just a second. We understand, maybe, I understand that sometimes you ask a question, and I'm going to assume that Quinn just had reasons he didn't want to discuss. He didn't want to get into Mike Conley versus Donovan Mitchell as a point guard, and I wasn't trying to, but that's how he read the question. But when Donovan plays point guard without Mike Conley on the floor, he can play it one way. When he played tonight as the primary point guard for 35 minutes, he has to play a different way. Elaborate on that, Ron.
Well, you go from a scorer to a point guard. You go from a scorer to playing with guys, with you being the number one option in your offense, to you trying to be a scorer, but also get everyone else involved. Now, a lot of times, David, in the case of, well, let's back up a little bit, maybe a few years ago, guys like that, there are plays that you can run for your teammates and stuff like that. Teams now run so many pick and roll plays now that, and you play off of that pick and roll, whether it's side pick and roll or the middle pick and roll, in order to make things happen for your teammates. So it's awfully difficult, I think, for Donovan to say, okay, I got to get Bojan involved here, so I'll run fist four quick or something like that. That's Jerry Sloan's play.
We're running fist four quick
like
again.
that, just to get him going. So I think it's a little difficult when you're a scorer and you're the first option, trying to get everyone else, going.
I've never seen this before, by the way, and maybe because he doesn't know any better, but one of the Thunder players, Lindy Waters III, is out in the crowd in his uniform. He didn't go change. He's out taking pictures with all of his family friends. He's from Norman, Oklahoma. Has a bunch of friends here. He's on a two-way contract and has gotten to play some with their injuries and having a new experience. He actually was a high school teammate of Trae Young's, as one of our listeners pointed out to me on Twitter. And he's out there.
They leave here and go to Denver. No,
yeah.
They leave here and go to. No, their next game is at home against Milwaukee.
Oh. Yeah. Ray asks, is it outrageous to think Pascal might bring a little bit more to the table than Gay? And I would say no, it's not outrageous at all. In fact, that bridge lineup with Joe with Pascal is actually always better than Rudy. But here's the thing. You've got to let Rudy Gay try to get through this.
Yeah.
We know exactly who Eric Pascal is. He's good. That's great. We know he is. He plays hard. He's shooting the three well. He can drive. He can play a little isolation. He can switch defensively. There's a lot of really good things to him. You know exactly who he is right now. You keep him in shape. You keep him ready. You keep him going. Keep him engaged. But you've got to give Rudy Gay, who's under a 3-year contract and has the track record he has, a chance to get going. If it doesn't happen, and it has not happened yet for Rudy Gay, this is not a short time. His last 10 games, he's shooting 35% from the floor and 24% from three, and he's 1 for 5 tonight. But frankly, if you back it up, since December 1st, he's shooting 37% from the field and 28% from three. So it's not like it's brand new, but you've got to let him see and use the next 15 games or so. And if he doesn't turn the corner in the next 10 or 15 games, then Ray, I think you have to address the issue. But you've got it. Ideally, our best case scenario, our ceiling is highest if Rudy Gay finds his footing somewhere in the next month. That's a higher ceiling than we could have any other way. And so you've got to run that out for the next 15 little period.
To get out of this and get back, especially if he's healthy. That was probably the most important thing. Once he makes a couple of shots or something like that, and make a couple of defensive plays, rebounds, and he gets the fact where he runs the floor. And I'd like to see that probably a little bit more than anything. By running the floor, you can get a little easier plays, and you can get yourself going, that way.
Our national anthem singer can hoop a little over here, by the way, too. By the way, I think the other one on Rudy Gay, the only other scenario is you go to Rudy Gay tonight and say, how does your body feel? If he says it hurts, then you give him tomorrow off on a back end of a back-to-back. But I'd be surprised if that's the case on 15 minutes.
Before we go,
yeah.
Look at the minutes.
34, 34, 34, 28, 35. It's a lot with a back-to-back in Dallas. Didn't run away with this one and go win it by 20. Someone asked early, is letting teams back in a mental thing or a lineup roster thing. So I would argue we never let them back in the game tonight. Like I would guess if you look at go to impredictable.com and look at our win probability, I would guess our win probability was 99% for a long time. Like teams are going to make shots. They're going to go on 6-2 runs. The crowd got into it kind of ludicrously. So I would say we never let them back in the game tonight. Absolutely. That is the Jazz win over the Thunder and Bojan Bogdanovic's historic night. Have a great night. We'll talk to you tomorrow.